guys, welcome back to Stop and Watch. Thanks for stopping on by. Today I've got a quick comparison between two Casio watches. One is the AE1500 and one is the Casio AE1600. So this is the old model, this is the outgoing one, and this is the newer one that's come in. We're just going to take a quick look at these two today. How do they differ? How do they feel on the arm? Do they feel the same? Do they feel different? Is the quality any different from either one of them? We'll just take a quick look, talk about the prices, a few other things, and then I'll let you make the decision for yourself if you want to buy one or not. So without further ado, let's take a look at these two beauties. So first things first, this one, the Casio AE1600WH, I believe that's the actual designation for it. Yep, right there. This is this one's predecessor. This one is the Casio AE1600, and this also has a few letters after the end of it too, 1600H. So very similar watches. There are a few differences, and I will put the links in the description box to both reviews because I did a full review on either watch, just to, show how I like them on an individual basis. But comparing them against each other, I think, is useful just to see which one you might be in the market for, which one you might like better. So first things first, I just swapped which hand they were in because some of you might think that this screen is brighter due to the light, but it's actually not. The black one, or the one on the right, the 1500, it just has a more legible dial anyway. So these are both negative display dials. You can get them with a positive display, which I've shown you guys before, but I just prefer the negative display because I think it makes the watches look a bit more sleek. But as you can see, when the light is not directly on it, it makes the screen a little harder to read. It's a little less legible. Now that's not that big of a deal considering that these watches have got such big digits on the screen. A big difference is when you press the light button is in a very ergonomic place here on the front, whereas on this watch it's in the more traditional spot of the top right. So that is one change that they've made. The other difference is the size of the watch. Obviously the new AE1600 versus the 1500, this is a square face watch and this one is more of the round face watch. They both look like different models of the G-Shock. This one I think looks a bit more like the off-white G-Shocks, but there are G-Shocks that look like this one too. But on the thickness of the watches, I would say that this one on the right is a bit thicker. This is like 15.7 millimeters on the thickness, and I think this one is like 15.3 or 15.5. But you can see, even just on top of each other, that the thickness is slightly different. You can see that it's two-tone, so white on the top and black on the bottom for this one, and this one is gray and black. So very similar, and the straps themselves are about the same thickness and the same length. The straps are excellent on these watches. I really do like the straps. I like the ridges that come along the bottom, and then you've got those two little markers here, which when you put the strap on, it helps to keep the watch nicely snug and in place. And this is big enough to fit most wrists. You got to have a really gigantic wrist for one of these watches to not fit you. The features on the watches are the same as well. So they both have mineral crystal, which is easily scratchable. I have scratched this one on the left already. You can see there just on that left corner. But these raised bezels on the watches, it should protect it from most scratches. and you can see that even though this is a gray watch, the little screws, or the fake looking screws, they're black, whereas on this one it's the same color as the bezel. So I think this would have looked better if it had black screws versus the white screws, just to give a little bit of contrast. Both watches have 10-year battery life, and they're both that Illuminator brand, which I'm in the light now, so you can't really see what the lights look like. Each one of these, the light only stays on for about 1.5 seconds, whereas if you've got some of the other Casios, they stay on for 4 to 5 seconds. The features, which I'm not going to deep dive them, but they are the same. So if you press these mode buttons, then it's got 5 alarms for each one of these watches. The next mode is going to be for the countdown timer. The next one is for stopwatch, and this is stopwatch with a split timer. And then the next mode is the dual time function. So it's not a world time watch, but it does have dual time on it. And that's the main functions of this. On the back, they pretty much look the same. You can see it's got the 4 screws to hold the back down, and both of them are 100 meters water resistant, which is 330 feet. It should say on here water resistant 10 bar. So 10 bar is typically 100 meters, which, like I said, is a 330 feet. So they are very similar. Now, the biggest difference, I think, when wearing these watches is the size. So I don't know if it's as easy to tell with me holding them, but this is about 50 millimeters, 51. This is like 52 millimeters. And they do just fit different on the wrist. So if I put this one on, I would say that the new version actually feels a little bit lighter, and it wears smaller on the wrist. I have a 6.5 or 7-inch wrist, and this is how this particular watch looks. I think it looks pretty good. Definitely my favorite of the two, which is why I bought this one. So comfortable, doesn't feel too big to me. However, if I put the older version, the AE1600 on the wrist, a couple of millimeters makes a big difference. First of all, the watch, I think, just looks a lot bigger on the wrist. Looks a lot more like the more traditional giant face G-Shock watches. And it is not as comfortable on my wrist. But what I will say is you can totally tell that the dial is brighter, even though they are both negative display. You can see that this one on the left, when it's not in perfect light, is quite a bit brighter than this one on the right. So that is something that I prefer about the older one than I do about the new one. I'm not sure why there's such a big difference. I thought at first that it possibly may have just been the one that I got, but I've looked at a number of these, probably like 4 or 5 of them, and they're all a lot dimmer than what this one is. So if you have eyes that struggle to see things that are not very bright, then this one is definitely the one for you. This one is good if you just want to watch that's a little bit smaller and that it's got that square face instead of the round face on the dial. But they're both excellent. You can't go wrong with either one of them. Because this older one, the off-white, because it is the AE1600, it probably will be discontinued soon since you've got this one. I don't know how long it will take to do that, but this one was on rollback, so it was only $22, whereas this one after tax was about $36. So there is quite a big difference in price. Is this one worth the difference compared to this one? I would say no. If you like the look, or if you just love the look of that one a lot more, then I guess just pay the difference. But as far as features and how they feel, they're identical. So if you want to save yourself some money, go ahead and get the older AE1500. Now I'm going to leave the links to both of them in the description, and you'll be able to see them in tagged products. And you'll be able to get this one or this one. And then I usually link some G-Shocks as well. If you want to go a bit more expensive, feel free to purchase from those links. But yeah, this was just a quick overview of both of these watches. I think they're both an excellent deal. I don't think you can go wrong with them. And it's just whichever one you choose or you think is going to be the best watch for you. But anyway, guys, as always, give the video a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel because it helps it to grow, and leave a comment down below and let me know what your guys' experience is with one of these. I'll answer any questions that you guys want to shoot in the comments box. And once again, thanks for stopping on by. Peace.